Hello, guys. It's show time. It is show time. Hello, and welcome to another show. Fulham versus Manchester United match reaction. My man, Mr. Paul Labille Pogba. What can you say about this guy, man? You know, I've been defending this guy all season. I've been talking about, his lack of form, injuries that has plagued him for a season and a half now, up to 2 years. We've talked about COVID. We've talked about the different positions that he's played in this team. We've talked about how he's the one player at Manchester United that keeps getting sacrificed. But before we get right into that, man, if you guys are watching for the first time, please please smash the like button. If you're liking the channel, please subscribe. Trying to grow this channel. So, guys, Manchester United first in the league again. For 4 hours, we were third in the league, and now we are first again. So where do we start, man? Obviously, the game started off a little slower than expected. Obviously, we had Martial up front. We had Cavani. We had Greenwood. It was a good starting 11. This was the first game that Ole decided to go with just Fred in the back because I'm thinking probably because Eric Bailly was starting today, so there was a bit more confidence with our back line. Obviously, Fulham conceded the first goal. Heads are down again. What's going on? But I think, the first half, we kind of got ourselves back into the game. And then what I was kind of hoping for was that Fulham wasn't going to pack the bus like most bottom league teams do. And I got to say, Bruno started off really well. The two shots that hit the bar and then his cross that he whipped in and Cavani was able to tap off the deflection. That was a really good start. And then I kind of saw Bruno faded away into what Bruno does, losing the ball, possession. But he got us the first goal, so I'm not going to be hard on Bruno today. And then second half starts, same thing, not much of a game plan. And then Paul Pogba, another game where he has scored us the winning goal. It is crazy, man. It is crazy. Like, I don't want to make this whole thing about Paul Pogba, but for those people who are still doubting Paul Pogba, you need to realize this kid is a talent. Yes, he has not shown it consistently for the last 4 years or however long you wanna say that he hasn't performed. But he's been our only player since before Bruno that has been on the Premier League Team of the Year. He's been the one season where Ole's first season, he was our top goal scorer and top assist. And after that season, what happened? He got injured. He's been battling with injuries. And I've been trying to tell fans, you've got to give this kid time. You've got to be easy on this kid. He's going to come back into form, and now he's back into form. United is firing. Overall, my review of the game, I think we were poor again. I kind of said this yesterday with the Leicester City versus Chelsea review. Watching Chelsea is kind of like watching Manchester United. We don't really have a system of play. We don't have a pattern. We kind of rely on individual moments. The difference between United and Chelsea is that we have better players, and we also have players who seem to be playing for the coach. That's the difference. That's the absolutely difference, because I watched Chelsea yesterday, and I thought I was watching Manchester United. And that's what still worries me as a fan. I know everyone is very positive about the results that we're getting. We're top of the league right now. And, we're riding this luck. But for how long? Let's not let our positivity cloud our ability to be critical. We don't want that to happen, because at some point, Ole needs to start showing us that he can make the right decisions. You talk about nothing was happening throughout the game. Like, I didn't see where the goal was going to come from. We kept huffing and puffing, but I didn't see where that goal was going to come from. And then, Pogba does that. Pogba scores the goal. What an amazing goal. Takes on three guys, looks up, left footer, and then scores a goal. That's amazing. That is amazing. But if that did not happen, what was Ole's plan? What was Ole's plan for the game? He had none. He didn't wait. He waited till the 85th minute to bring on Rashford and McTominay, which I did not agree with, because for me, why is Rashford coming on? We have Liverpool on Sunday. We're one goal up. Yes, I get it. We're one goal up. You can bring in your McTominay, your Matic, or Van der Beek to hold the game. At some point you got to take Bruno off. Once that goal was scored, we kind of sat back again. At that point, you should be taking Bruno off. Give the kid a rest. Give Bruno a rest, for God's sake. When is Van der Beek going to get his chance? When is Van der Beek going to get his chance so that we as fans can see what he actually possesses as a football player? When is he going to get his chance? Ole waits to the 85th minute to make his two subs, McTominay and Rashford, when we have Liverpool on Sunday. That's the stuff those are the decision makings that gets me worried with Ole. That's a decision making, is when the game is not going our way, he doesn't make the subs. I understand that he has a lot of beliefs in his players, but at some point, you've got to start making tactical changes that actually changes the game, and not waiting for the likes of your Bruno, your Pogbas, your Martials, your Rashfords to make a difference. And that's where I am with the whole Ole thing. And I know I do sound very negative, even though we are first in the league. But at some point, I want to start watching real football. I want to start watching, a system of play, a pattern where we're not just relying on individual brilliance to keep winning us games. Like, I watched the Manchester City versus Aston Villa game. What a game. Back and forth, free flowing. You can tell those were two teams with good players, good quality players, but in a quality system. And that's what we're lacking at Manchester United. That's exactly what we're lacking at Manchester United. And it worries me. But it's been positive. The week has been amazing. A tie to Liverpool, a win now on the road to Fulham. That's another 7 games on the road. That's crazy, man. We've come from behind to win another game. So the one positive too is these players believe that they can win this league now. I honestly believe that. I think Bruno coming in has really, instilled a lot of confidence in these players to believe that no matter if we're down, no matter if the game isn't going our way, they're still going to put their heads up. And that is, that's one thing that's one positive I can take away from, the performances that we've had, because we've been having some crappy performances, but the belief is still there. And I know a lot of other team fans are saying, oh, how long is that going to ride? How long is that going to ride? Sometimes all you need is confidence to win championships. You just need belief and confidence in your teammates, in the coach, and in the system to be able to win it. And I think Manchester United players actually do believe in that system, even though I, as a fan, don't believe in Ole's system. But not to rant for too long, just kind of do the player ratings for now. I was very happy to see Eric Bailly starting. I wasn't too surprised because I'm sure Ole is going to play Lindelof again in the against Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-finals. So just kind of going from the top, actually, let's start from David De Gea. Honestly, I'm going to give him a 5, just because I don't really think David De Gea did much in this game. I don't think he really made a save, to be honest. I think Maguire, Bailly, Luke Shaw were very solid at the back, especially in the dying moments of the game. Luke Shaw and Maguire were able to save us that from conceding. So I would give David De Gea, I would give him a 5, just because not because he had a bad performance, but just because there really wasn't anything to show. Like, he just did his job. And then he didn't keep a clean sheet. So, which is not necessarily his fault, but it is what it is. Wan-Bissaka, I got to give him a 5 as well. Solid defensively, but he was lacking going up. It's the same thing that we've been talking about all season. It's just his ability to go up. I know he's given us a couple of assists, and I know that he's kind of limited on the right side just because I still believe he has no support. When you play Greenwood on the right-hand side, he's not offering much just because he's not a right winger. He's more of a striker. And then when you play him on there, you take away from his game, and he's not the kind of player to be tracking back. So I always give Wan-Bissaka the benefit of the doubt that he needs more help on the right-hand side. So because of that, I'm going to give him a 5 just because he was kind of poor going up. He was extremely poor. Decision-making was poor. But overall, just based on the team performance today, I'm going to give him a 5. Eric Bailly, once again, solid in defense. I loved how he was coming up to the halfway line, and distributing the balls and ensuring that we could continue our attacking play. Similar to Maguire, I would give both Bailly and Maguire, I would give them a 6. Actually, I would give them a 7. I will give them a 7 just because I believe they were solid defensively. The first goal, apart from the first goal, they were solid defensively. So I will give them 7s. And Maguire was a little disappointing, though, with the headers. He had, I think, 3 clear chances on goal, but I don't know if his head is just too big that he can't direct it or something. But for some reason, he wasn't on target today. But defensively and just his overall gameplay, I think, was solid today. You know what? Eric Bailly and Maguire, you know what? I'll drop it down to a 6. I'll drop it down to a 6. I think just the nature of the game, I think 7 is a pretty high score, just the nature of how the game went today. Luke Shaw, I got to say, Luke Shaw, he was good too. I would say probably a 6. I'll give him a solid 6 today. He didn't really have, he didn't do too much wrong, I will say. He went up when he was supposed to go up. Not sure why he was taking corners over Bruno, but I would say, Luke Shaw was very solid against Liverpool, and I think he was okay today as well. It's Fulham, so I don't really expect our defenders to have to do too much in the game. And then defensive mid, we'll say Fred. I'll say 6 again. I think overall, actually, I would give Fred a 5 just because Fred, he does what he does. He tracks players down, he retrieves the ball, but his decision making and the quality on the ball is still lacking. And that's the one thing with Fred that is always a huge question mark is, what if we had a natural CDM that can do Fred's job, but can also have an attacking flair to his play? And I think we would see a better Manchester United. But overall, I think Fred, being alone in the back for the first time in so long, I would say I would give him a 5. I would give him a 5. Not a disappointing 5, but I think it was just a 5 because he did not really, nothing in his game really stood out today, except for where he had the ball and he kept fighting with 5 guys at the corner flag. That was amazing. But other than that, it didn't really impact the game that much. And then, you know what? I'm going to leave Pogba till the end. Who else do we have? Okay, so Bruno. I would give Bruno. Bruno's a hard one. I think I'll give Bruno like a 5.5 if that's a score. I'll give Bruno a 5.5 because he started the game strong. He had a couple of shots. One hit the bar, one the goalie saved, and then the cross that he whipped in from the left-hand side that Cavani scored from a deflection. So he did contribute to the game, just not for huge parts of the game. So I would give him a 5.5 just for the little bit that he contributed as well. And then Anthony Martial, another disappointing game from him, a little bit isolated up front. I wouldn't say it was much of his fault, but, we're getting to the point where a lot of fans are losing a lot of patience in Martial. And I can see the frustration in his play now because he's hungry for that goal and he needs to start scoring. But overall, I wouldn't say he was our worst player. I think he still contributed to the team, not just the way that we're used to seeing Martial contribute. So I will give Martial a 5 as well, just to be fair. I think giving anybody on that team a 4 would be extremely unfair. So I'll give Martial a 5. Who else was on there? Mason Greenwood, a 5 as well. You know, he didn't really do too much in the game. He had a couple of moments where he tried to take a shot, you know, deflected off a couple of defenders. But, you know, the thing with Mason is I still feel like he's not a right winger. I feel like he needs to get the opportunity as a forward. But when you have the likes of Martial, Cavani, Rashford, you know, he's really down the pecking order in terms of being our starting number 9. So I can't really be too hard on Greenwood because he's still very young. He still has a lot to learn, and he still has to wait for his time. But I think at some point, Ole needs to give him an opportunity up front to show what he can do. And the one thing I just wanted to say about Greenwood too is he's similar to Rashford in the selfish play. You know, there's so many times where Greenwood could have just easily passed the ball to another player rather than trying to squeeze his way into the box to take a shot. And it's the same thing that we see from Rashford's game is the selfishness. And I think Ole needs to realize that, and Ole needs to coach both Rashford and Rashford and Greenwood to ensure that they are, you know, not just thinking about scoring a goal. I love my strikers that want to go for goal all the time, but there has to be a time where there is a time and place for taking a shot, you know, taking on 5 players and passing the ball. And I think Greenwood and Rashford, I think they do lack that awareness sometimes, and it takes a lot from their game. So if Greenwood can work on that, get his head up when he has the ball, look for a pass if he's not in the box, then I think he would be an amazing player to have. But just for the game of today, I would give him a 5 as well. Cavani, I'll give him a 6 just because of the goal that he scored. Other than that, he didn't really do too much. I would say his work rate off the ball was pretty good. Like he was all over the place. You know, he was always trying to get on behind the ball. Sorry, he was always trying to get at the end of the ball. So it wasn't too bad overall. But I just got to say, you know, he didn't do too much apart from that goal. So I will give him a 5 for that as well. And, you know, last person here, Paul Pogba. You know, Paul Pogba, I would give him man of the match just because of, you know, I think he controlled our midfield. He sort of dictated the game. I know a lot of Pogba haters would disagree with me, but I think Pogba actually did control the game for majority of it. I think he did control the game. And then he also scored the goal. Even before he scored the goal, the one cross into the box that Bruno headed, and obviously it was offsides, but that cross, the one time, just got the ball and just whipped it into the box. Bruno got at the end of it. Unfortunately, Bruno didn't score. But it's those moments that makes you realize how great this player is. And, you know, it's just if we can utilize Pogba the right way, and I keep saying it, I know we all sound like a broken record. If we can figure out a way to have Pogba playing in a position that suits him and not doing all this, like Rance would say, donkey work, I think we can see a much better Paul Pogba. But other than that, man, I think Paul Pogba was the man of the match today. I'll say he was a 7 out of 10 performance. Not because it was outstanding, but just based on the overall look and shape of the game. I think he was the man of the match. So, guys, let me know what your player ratings are in the comments below. This is a very quick match review. First in the league, guys. 40 points. You're slowly beginning to see a bit of a gap between first place and 7th, 10th place. So that's nice to see, because for a while there it was like, who's just gonna take the initiative and go for it, you know? And I think the likes of Manchester United, Man City, Leicester City are beginning to show signs of challenging for the league. So I'm excited. I'm buzzing. Like I said, guys, let's continue to keep our heads up. Let's continue to be realistic. I know everyone is on this positive hype, and we can say, any criticism that you have is taken the wrong way. This is not elementary school anymore. This is real life. This is a big club. So as much as we won today, I'm still going to be very critical when I need to be critical of this team. So let's not let this positive vibe cloud and blind our ability to be critical. But other than that, guys, Manchester United, we are first in the league, 40 points. Sheffield is our next league game. I'm very confident. I'm very confident that we can get the 3 points. But guys, man, that's it. If you just tuned in, you're watching, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And hopefully we can provide you more content as well. So we'll be back on Sunday with the weekend review, talking about the game Manchester United versus Liverpool. That's going to be a massive game as well. Hopefully, Ole isn't too pragmatic in his setup in that game. Hopefully, he can actually challenge Liverpool in that game, because we need to get to the finals in the FA Cup. This team, they need a trophy. This team needs a trophy. We can't crash out from our 5th semifinals. That'll be a major blow. So guys, thank you for listening. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for the subscribes, and we'll see you soon. Take care.